Hey traders, this is Ron Hayden at Market Tamer. Happy Tuesday, hope you're doing great. As always, nothing in this presentation shall constitute a recommendation to buy or sell any security. Trading stocks and options involves risk and specific financial issues should always be addressed with your financial advisor. Start off with the Qs, up 1.45% today. We talked about the orange line being a litmus test, the 50-day SMA. We're just pennies above it yesterday. Well, that is no longer the case. We gapped up, closed sort of mid-range, but nonetheless, volume came in. We're above the 50-day target, the all-time highs back from the end of April, beginning of May. We take a look at, let's actually do the diamonds next. The DIA closed at 265.33, 265.82. We're 50 cents, 50 points on the Dow Jones away from hitting new all-time highs. How about the spiders, the S&P 500? Closed at 292.40. We're not quite up here at 294 yet. 294.03 was the high on May 3rd. But geez, about 6 points, 60 some cents away. That's not far at all. Overall, markets remain bullish. Now, the Fed's going to have a meeting tomorrow, talk about the latest interest rates, whether there's going to be a cut, whether there's not, whether there's going to be a raise. We'll just wait and see. But in part, today the markets were up because of the trade war stuff. Just keep in mind, the trade war stuff was known back a year ago, September, October. Then we had the pullback, the consolidation, then the worst December possibly on record during that time frame in terms of a drop. Then the rally, then the sell-off, then the rally. The news has never really changed. There's always been the trade war. The media likes to say it and run with it as if the world is ending, but what's the market doing? Sometimes it gets sucked in, sometimes it doesn't. But what's interesting is even when they pulled it below the 200-day moving average back at the beginning of the month, it lasted one day, as if to suck everybody in just to take it right back up. So whether President Trump and Xi are going to get together, whether it's going to be FOMC, we trade what we see, not what we think. And I believe a fantastic litmus test to see if the bulls or bears are in control. Watch the 50-day in orange. Here we get below it, we sell off. We got one day above it, right back down. We end up having a December massacre. Once we get above it the middle of January, it was a really easy ride. You get below it, now it's back and forth, and then we get back above it here on the 7th. More often than not, I think it works well. So that's something to consider if you want to see who's in control. Bulls, bears, right now, bulls have the edge. So tomorrow should be interesting. Also, thank you for the kind comments, the likes on YouTube and the emails. I'm glad that so many of you find these videos helpful. I try to keep things simple, try to cut out all the noise out there from all the talking heads and everybody's prediction. Again, trade what you see, not what you think. And I think using some really simple indicators like I've talked about, I think can make a really positive difference looking at the market. Next, SMH, the semis. They were up 4% today, but did it really change anything? Nope. Here's the low. Here's today's big day. We need to get above the 50-day. Above the 50-day, all-time highs are the target. That's almost 10%. Right now, we have a low and a higher low. Positive for the bulls, but we don't have a higher high yet. By closing above the 50-day, it'll also make a higher high. NVDA was also in the news on reports of a deal with Volvo for self-driving cars. If I look at NVIDIA here, nice volume pop, we have now put in a higher high, just like the SMH could not do. NVIDIA just did it. Here's a low, higher low, high, higher high. I would consider a stop below these little swing lows. So the close there is 144.64. That's the lowest one in the swing low. A close below there would negate the bullish momentum, in my opinion. Otherwise, my target would be up here if I want to be bullish. We break that, we go up to the 200-day. Apple. This stock was up 2+%. So it really wasn't a hammer. It was more of a doji back on the 3rd of April, right near a horizontal support level. It was then pretty much straight up 3, 4, 5, 6 days in a row. Mild light volume pullback. Now back above the 50-day. Target up there towards 210. USM got an upgrade. This is United Cellular. You probably see these commercials from time to time. But what has the stock done? Barely closed above these previous highs. Now, the closing high from 5.3 is 50.45, about 9 cents above it. The target back up here towards the all-time highs. That could be, and if I show you a 10-year chart, those are the all-time highs. We go back into a 1-year chart. You know, that's not bad, 10+% potential move here. Boeing sort of went boing, if you will. It popped up. This is on heels of a report that they got a lot of orders for the 737. there's so much unknown out there. To me, it's a little remarkable that it's moved higher. But if I was a bear on Boeing right now, I'd really be scared because you'd think there's this shoe to drop, what are the lawsuits going to look like, etc. Yet the stock pops today. The volume wasn't all that huge. It was big, but not monstrous. In doing and getting above the 50-day, it's something it hasn't done since it closed below it back on 312. The immediate target's going to be up here around 395 to 400. Then there's a gap fill. Right now, Boeing has turned bullish. And Intel, not a stock we look at much, sort of have a mini cup and handle going on in here. There's the cup, there's the handle, but look at the confluence coming together here with the 50-day in orange, institutional moving average, and the 200-day in orange, 200-day in purple, sorry, coming in around 48. If Intel gets above both of these, a gap fill all the way up to 57 would be the target. And last but not least, U.S. Steel, covering a lot of different stocks tonight. U.S. Steel is up 4%. That did catch my eye. Volume the past couple weeks, essentially since June, has been positive. But here's the catch. It still hasn't even closed above the 50-day. We do have a little bit of a higher swing low right in here, but a close above the 50-day on above average volume would be a positive, and the target would be up there near 20. That's a pretty good move for a little $14, $15 stock. So that's it. I'll be back with you tomorrow with post FOMC commentary on how the market moved. Wish you guys all the best. Have a great day.